Welcome to Exec Class of. Once again, I remain Pastor Olakunle Badmus, aka Kalmas, your government gurus and your CRS gurus. Now, today we have a topic that is very, very important. That is, we call work class structures of governance. Structure of governance is different from system of governance. Now, JAMB and other exams always bring out 2 or 5 questions from this topic. Under the structures of government, we have 3 topics there. The first topic we have here, that's subtopic. Listen to me very well. We have subtopic here. Here we have what? Federal system of government. I'm going to start with this one today. Federal system of government. I'm going to start with this one today, which is very, very important. Federal system of government. Now, in UTME, they call it what? Federal system of government. What's another name for federal system of government? You may not know, but Jack always said that question. Another name for federal system of government is called what? Decentralization. What did I say? What did I say? Decentralization. Are you with me? Decentralization. What's another name for decentralization, students? We can also call it what class? Federalism. We can also call it federalism. And what's another name for federalism? See the same thing. They call it what class? Federal states. Are you here? Federal what? Federal states. So under this topic, we have 3 topics that I said earlier on. We have federal system of government. Then we have what? Unitary system of government. Then the last topic under that, we have what? Confederal system of what? Government. Look at me here. Look at me here and put something down here. What's the first topic we are treating here? I said we have what? Federal system of government. The second topic here is what? Unitary system of what? Of government. And the last topic under this topic is called what? Confederalism. That's confederation. These are the 3 topics. Now, for example, let me use my country, Nigeria, as a what? An example now. If you want to pronounce Nigeria, how do you say? I can't hear you. You say what? You say what? I can't hear. What do you say? Thank you. You say what? Federal Republic of what? Of Nigeria. You can see. Federal Republic of Nigeria. I shorten my Nigeria here. Please don't mind me. Federal Republic of Nigeria. You know that some countries, they don't use federalism. They don't call them federal. Why? If you don't practice federalism here, you practice the second here. That's unitary. So there are some countries that don't practice federalism. They practice what? Unitary. Why some countries, they practice what they call what class? Confederation. Is one after the other. Am I making point? Now look at this now. Federalism goes together with what? Unitary. Unitary goes together with what class? Confederation. Now remember in our last class, I said we have republic. So if a country don't practice republic, you practice what they call what class? Monarchy. And we have done that topic last time. Then not only that, after monarchy, we also have what? We have what? Military rule. So you can see that this thing works together. This one in government is called forms of government. We have the republic, we have the monarchy, and we have what? Military. Then when we now talk of federal here, let's flip that one. Are you with me, students? Now we are talking of federal here. Federal Republic of what? Of Nigeria. Then let me ask you last, what is Republican? Whereby the country use what? President. That's what they call Republican. Can you tell me that? President. When you have a president in a state, in a country, it's called Republican. Then when we now talk of monarchy here, what do I say? Tell me once again. When you have the king or the queen, it's called what class? Monarchy. But let's leave that. Let's come back to our today's topic. Our today's topic, we are tracking for the first topic here, which is called what? Federal system of government. When did we start using federalism? How federalism starts in Nigeria? Initial place, I mentioned something before that was before federal system of government. There are some things we have been using before federalism. Although this topic in section C or section C in government, we have Nigerian federalism, but this is just section A of the government, which is federal system of government. Am I making point? So when we talk of federalism, how do we start using federalism in Nigeria? Before federalism, there are some things we have been using. For example, now we are colonized by the Britain. Am I talking? We are colonized by the Britain, yes. But before Britain comes to Nigeria, the first white country to what? To penetrate into Nigerian country, they are called Portugal. But Portugal run away from Nigeria because of mosquito. What I say, they run away from Nigeria because of mosquito. And not only that, Portugal, they are the one that bring world class missionary to Nigeria. Then later, Britain are pumping. They come into Nigeria. When they come to Nigeria, they set up their machinery. What I say, they set up their machinery. And when they set up their machinery, their first governor general was introduced in Nigeria to come and manage Nigeria. Who is that person? Lord what? Lord Lugard. What I say? Lord what? Lord Lugard. Sometimes they say Lord Frederick Lugard. And don't forget, we don't need this one. They call it what class? Sir. Sir is a title. And Lord is also a title. But real name is what? Freddy what? Lugard. That's what I say, Freddy Lugard. Now, when they introduce him in Nigeria, what happened? Lord Lugard introduced what? Amalgamation. Amalgamation of the northern and southern protectorate. Then what is he introduced in Nigeria? Before federalism, the first thing we use in Nigeria is called what class? Protectorate. What I say? Protectorate. Protectorate. By who? Lord what? Lugard. He amalgamated the northern and southern protectorate which share 1914. UTME question, go and check very well. UTME question 20 what class? 2012. Yes, number one class 4. They ask this question. Who introduced protectorate in Nigeria? Lord Lugard. He amalgamated, he joined the northern and the southern together. He merged them together in 1914. Then the wife of Lugard now named Nigeria. Then after he ruled Nigeria for a while, then the second governor general that took over from him, who is that person? Who is that person? Sir what? Sir Hugh Clifford. Am I making point? Are you jotting it down? Just something like Hugh Clifford. He removed protectorate. What did he bring in? He bring what? Province. That's the second thing we use in Nigeria. I want to say this before I forget. Not all countries that use states. There are some countries that use district, while some countries use province. Do you get it now? That's why I'm bringing this explanation to you. So when I start the topic, you get it. You get the point there. Why do we introduce federalism in Nigeria? So he introduced what? Province. Who introduced province in Nigeria? You click for. Who are these people I mentioned? Who are they? They are governor general representing what? The Britain leader. So sometimes they say they represent Queen of England. Queen of England are not staying in England and also come around Nigeria. So you have to send somebody to do what? To monitor the affair of the what? Of the Nigeria. So introduce what? Province in Nigeria. That's why we have election. Remember, we have election in 1923 because why? It made Lagos and Calabar as a province. Lagos and Calabar as a province. And that's why we have election. Then after he rule. We are still going there. You may ask me which year did they start ruling? Don't worry, when I go to that place, I will explain one after the other. It's a topic on its own. So after I rule, then the next ones that are coming there, I don't want to mention other people. We now have our class. We have this man there. We have what? We have this man. That's Sir what? Sir Octor Richard. Octor Richard. What did he introduce Nigeria before this one? Octor Richard. Not Richard Kadu. Octor Richard. Introduce what? Introduce what? Regionalism. Regionalism. That's regionalism. Now, I want to say this before I forget. Protectorate. What I say? How many? How many protectorates do you have in Nigeria? Yes. Thank you. What do you say now? I can hear you. Yes. Southern and northern protectorate. How many is that? 2. What I say? 2. Then when this guy now come in now, Richard. Dr. Richard. Why am I spelling my Richard like this? Richard. Not Richard Kadu. Richard. You always like that. That's not the spelling, but I'll correct myself. Region. You get now. He break this for class. This what? Southern to 3. So we have the what? We have the north. We have the what? We have the east. And we have our class west. He break it to regionalism. That's region. He break to it. That's Dr. Richard. Are you with me? Richard Constitution. Richard Constitution. He break it to 3 regions. Richard Constitution. He break to 3. We have the north, we have the east, and we have the west. Before we have only 2. So he break this what? This south and to east and west in 90 what? Let's take down. When I go to that place, I will explain to you. Then who is the head of the region? So he use premier. So any country that is region in their country, their head of their region is called premier. It's called premier. Do you get it now? So we have regionalism. Then after that, in 1963, what happened again? In 1963 again, what happened again? They introduced one to this one, making 4. Who introduced that class? Sir Tafa what? Alhaji Tafa Balewa. Alhaji Tafa Balewa. He introduced what? Midwestern region, making what class 4. Then we have this one too. Don't forget the last governor general. Sorry, the governor general to that. That's Oliver what? Oliver Newton. What I say? Oliver Newton introduced what class? Federalism in Nigeria. But don't forget, why did I bring this in? Octor Richard laid the foundation of federalism. He laid the foundation, but he never practiced it. What did he introduce in Nigeria? He introduced what they call what? Quasi-federalism. Quasi-federalism. Somebody is asking, sir, what is quasi-federalism? Quasi-federalism is what class? Combination of what? Unitary and what? And federal. That's why we call it federalism. But if you sit down your exam, which of the constitution that introduced pure federalism in Nigeria? You go for what? Oliver Newton. So Oliver Newton introduced what? Federalism in Nigeria. Now let's now come back to our topic. Our today's topic is what class? Federal system of what? Of government. Can I clean up the word? Are you getting it? Fine. Can I clean up the word? Okay, class, fine. Good. Let's look at the historical background of federalism. Let's look at that. Historical background of federalism. Let's look at that. Please don't forget, federalism was introduced in Nigeria by who? Oliver Newton. Federalism was introduced. Yeah, just something down. Just something down, students. Federalism was introduced in Nigeria by who? By Oliver Newton. Oliver Newton. Who is Oliver Newton? Is a governor general, second to the last governor general. You get now? Introduced federalism in Nigeria. He's one that introduced federalism in Nigeria. Why did he introduce federalism in Nigeria? Because you know Nigeria is very big. A state, a country that is very, very big, they use what they call federalism. You can't compare Nigeria with Ghana. You can't compare Nigeria with Togo. You can't compare Nigeria with Benin Republic. They are very small country. So they can't practice federalism. So a country that is very big, size of the country determine what they call federalism. Look at United States of America. They are practicing what they call federalism. Why? Because their country is very big. Nigeria has how many states? 36 states. Why USA has 50 states? You can see why they call federalism. What's the answer to federalism exam? You can see that. What is that? They call it what? What? Heterogeneous. That's heterogeneous. Anytime you see heterogeneous in JAMB 2013 question, heterogeneous, you go for federalism. That's the short code. That's some code you need to know about this exam. There's a code for that. You don't need to be writing notes in JAMB. That's some short code. Pa, this is answer. Pa, this is answer. Because of the time. Pa, this is my answer. Pa, this is my answer. You don't need to waste time. I can't just be giving you notes. No, you're not able to read it, but I just have to give you cue. What's the secret to this one? You are still going there. Anytime you see this one exam, homogeneous. You go for what? Unitary system of government. That's homogeneous. So this guy introduced federalism in Nigeria in 1954. Why some tell you say what class 1956? Some tell you mention 56. Why some tell you mention 54? Why did he introduce federalism? Because of the size of the country. So class in what? May 1966, federalism was abolished. Don't forget. 2010 question number 34. UTME question. Check. 2010 number 34. Go and check there. Check and tell me the answer. Federalism was what? Was abolished. What was abolished in these students? What was abolished? Abolished means what? He removed. They removed it in 1966. It was removed, was abolished by who? By who? Late General what? Agui-Ironsi. Late General what? Agui-Ironsi. This man that removed federalism. These are the key things. You need to know about that. And what did he call it? He called it what class? Decree 34. What I say Decree 34. He called it Decree 34. And what is that? Unification of Nigeria. Unification of what? Of Nigeria. Why did I bring this in here? This one simply means what class? Nigeria has practiced unitary system before. We practice federalism, we practice unitary system. If they ask you which of the system Nigeria never adopted or practiced, that's confederalism. We have never practiced confederalism. We are once a unitary system of government. Because the first military in Nigeria used decree. I told you last class, what is decree? I said decree is what? Law used by what? By the what? By the federal military. We have different kind of decree. We have decree 4, decree 12, decree 27, just like that. But this one is decree 34. Check your past question now. It's there. 1995 question number 30 is there. What is the meaning of decree 34? That's unification of Nigeria. That's unitary system of government. And unitary system of government is not suitable for Nigeria. It's not suitable for Nigeria. That's why you see this man rule Nigeria for what? Only 6 months. First Minister of State Nigeria. When I go to military rule, I will explain that. He only ruled Nigeria for 6 months because he introduced what? Decree 34. And it was still at where? Ibadan. But don't let us go there. Let's come back for our topic. One after the other. Do you get it now? Because he introduced unitary system. And why did they introduce unitary system government? Which is not suitable for Nigeria. I will tell you the definition of unitary. Don't rush. Somebody is asking me. Don't worry. I will tell you. Why you ask? Don't worry. One after the other. So unitary system of government was what? Was introduced. And because of that, they killed this man. Who is that person? General Agui-Ironsi. Then in 1967, what I say, 1967, federalism was introduced back again. Federalism was introduced back again by who? General Yakubu Gowon. General what? Yakubu Gowon. He's one that introduced federalism in Nigeria. Tell me, I said something before. Who introduced protectorate? Yes, thank you. Dr. what? Richard. He broke that. Protectorate. Lord Lugard. Then regionalism by who? Dr. what? Richard, he break that protectorate to how many three? Then in 1967, that Yakubu Gowon created how many world class, how many states? He created 12 states. That's why presently today, till now, Nigeria is what they call world class federal system of government. Am I talking? Any question before I proceed? Any question, please ask question. You are free to ask any question now. I will answer you. So hope you get this one now. Who is this man too? Sorry, I supposed to give him his title. They are what? They are general. They are military. General Yakubu Gowon. He's still alive. He's old man. Yes, 90-something plus. And he ruled Nigeria for how many years? He ruled Nigeria for 9 years. When I go to military, I will explain this thing to you. 9 years. He was removed. When he went to where class? Let me use that word. He went to where Kampala. Kampala. Where can we find Kampala? In African country. He went to where Kampala in Uganda to go and discuss about civil war. You go and discuss about civil war. That's why they're for power. Till date, he's still alive. And please, they ask that question, not your. They ask that question on pursuit him. The youngest military of Nigeria, who is that person? Yakubu what? Gowon. Now let's now look at federalism definition. What is federalism? From my own words, from what I've explained so far now, I believe you get something here now. These are JAMB questions. Please don't tell me that this one is just history. It's not history. Students, it's not history. JAMB is less concerned about your definition. Go and check your past question about JAMB. They don't ask you. It's only WAEC, NECO, GC that we asking what is federalism. But let me give you a short definition of federalism in order for you to get it. What is federalism? Federalism is what? Federalism can be defined, anyone you want it, please, WAEC student too, can be defined as a system of government, whereby governmental powers, let me give another one in case you don't want to use some powers. You can say what? Functions. You can use that one. If you don't want to use this one, you can say what? Importance are shared. What's the other name for share? You use your class. Divide between the central and what? And state government. But don't let me use that state government. I told you it's not going to apply the states now. You can say what? Powers are divided, are shared between what? Class central and component what? Component unit. If you don't see unit in your exam, you see what class? The same thing. District. If you don't see district, you see what? You see province. You can say, I told you. You have used that before. And if you don't see province, you see what class? States. If you don't see states, you see what class? Region. And I want to ask the students, all those one I mentioned here, unitary, district, province, state, and region. Which one are we practicing now? Tell me. Yes, thank you. State. So you can say what? Powers are shared between the what? Central and what? And state government. Look at it here. Let me show you an example here. Look at it here now. Say pa. This is central. This is central in Nigeria. And this is what class? State in Nigeria. How many central do you have in Nigeria? Answer me. We have only one central. Where is that? FCT, Abuja. What's the name of FCT? Federal Capital Territory. Only one. Then how many states do you have in Nigeria class? We have 36 states in Nigeria. That is, each state is autonomous. Each state can do anything without waiting for what? Federalism. Without waiting for federal. And that's federal means central. I said we have one and we have a class state. So that's why federalism is very good. It's very, very good. Federalism makes a state to develop. That's something we have in Lagos State, other states don't have it. For example, now let me give you an example now. In Lagos State now, we have a class, LASMA in Lagos State, but some states they don't have it. About 6 states or 5 states in Nigeria, they are practicing what they call world class Sharia law. And I believe you know what they call Sharia. Have you seen Sharia in Lagos? No. In Savara State, they are using Sharia. I told you, I always show an example now. In Savara State, there's no way they say Ogogoro, Fenuja, Jakpata, all those ones. They don't have it there. Because why? They are practicing Sharia. All those Ogogoro, all this Etano, all those ones. They don't sell it. But Lagos State allow that. Come out early morning, 5 a.m. You see people everywhere in Lagos State. But others is not like that. Why? Because we are using what they call federal system government. They allow each state to develop. That's something that we have in Lagos State. Other places don't have it. PSP, Lawman, all those ones. They have it in Lagos State, but others don't have it. Now, there's some state today that do celebrating work class. Their holiday, all this one. But Lagos State may not celebrate this one or this one. Why? Because we are practicing federalism. What is federalism? Tell me. I want only one word for that. Just tell me. Only one sentence for that. Yes, anybody? Thank you. Division of power between what? Central and what? State. Your full mark is there. Sharing of power between federal, central and state. So look at now, look at the key there now. The state here, Tennessee state, can do anything without waiting for what? Federal government. For example, I show you my example. For example, I was coming from office around 11:30 in the night just to enter, and I don't want to disturb my wife. In my area, that's Lagos State, you see seafood buy, food, hot food. But at some states, it's not like that. When it's work class, 9 p.m., when it's 8 p.m., everybody has work class, enter their house. Why? Because they are practicing what they call federalism. Sharing of power, division of power between the central and state. So each state can do what? Anything. Am I making point? So each state is what? Autonomous. I want to ask you a question. If you come at 4 a.m. in Lagos State here now, do you know that you see people outside? Yes. Why some states, when it's 10 o'clock, everybody has what? Enter. So that's why you see American practice it. But American practice pure federalism. But I don't want to go there. Don't let me go there. But Nigeria practice federal system government. That's another name for federal system is called what? Decentralization. Am I making point? Are you getting now? Sharing of power between the what? Central. Central is one. Central is one. That's Abuja. Why state is what? 36 states. Each state can do anything within his what? Within his jurisdiction. Within his what? State. Without waiting for your president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You can't wait for that. So within his jurisdiction, that's what they call sharing of power, division of power between the central and state. So each state has power. Each state has power to what? To do anything. For example, now I'm sorry to use that word. That's me for you. Our governor, that's SLA work class. What's our governor? Someone look and say, oh yeah, tomorrow, girls should not be wearing trousers again. He never disturb other states. That's what they call federalism. Division of power between the central and what? And states. So now look at that. Like I say, work class, sharing of power. Sharing of power between central and states. That's what they call federalism. And each state is autonomous. And I say what? According to our practice, they must be what? Homogeneous. That different what? Culture and the size of the country determine what they call what? Federalism. Yes, once again, what's the answer to federalism? You have a class. Decentralization. Am I making point? Now look at this now before I forget now. Look at this now. In case you come across that, in your federalism, our powers are shared in Nigerian constitution. Let me quickly give you that. Our powers are shared in Nigerian constitution. Our powers are shared in Nigerian constitution. Our powers are shared in Nigerian constitution. That's why I mentioned that what? I said something that what? That there is division of power between the central and the state. Power is being divided between central and state. But as some power are reserved to only central government, no state is allowed to practice it. That's why I said division of power between the central government. 2014 question, 2017 question, 2019 question, 2020 question. Go and check the question there. Everything is there. Now we have 3 ways. Our powers are shared. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Number 1, we have what? We have the what? The what? The exclusive. The exclusive legislative what? List. What I say? The exclusive legislative list. What I say? The exclusive legislative list. The exclusive legislative list. What's that? Now, according to Nigerian Constitution, 1999 Constitution Section 155, what is about exclusive list? It said powers are reserved here to only central government. Power mentioned there. Let me write down for you. Oh yeah, jot it down. Power mentioned there are reserved. Jot it down. Are reserved to what? To the central. Why you not writing that, boy? To the central government to exercise. To exercise or what? Or practice. Only central government can practice it. It's not given to states, while local government. No power is given to state or local government. It's only the central government that can practice it. If another state, state or local practice it, it's called what? Null and void. Because constitution reserve their power for them. Now, someone can ask you example of this. Give me an example. Example of this one is what? Class e.g. Let's go, class. Is there your past question? Currency. What I say? Currency. Currency. Have you seen money before? Let me show you money. Some of you have not seen money before. Okay, my money is not here. I'm supposed to show you money. When you see your money, what do you always see there? Central Bank of what? Nigeria. Central, that is only the federal government that has the power to what? To print money. Somebody is asking a question. Let me even ask you. It's very simple. Print and mint. Which one is correct? Print money, mint money. Which one is correct? Yes, what do you say? We print paper money. We print paper money. Why you do what? We mint what? We mint coins. We mint coins. We don't print coins. We mint coins. And somebody is asking, go ask your economics teacher, is it CBN that prints money? If it's CBN that prints money, why did not tell us that time that what? How many of you remember Emefiele money? The new currency. They said the money they used to print that money is more expensive than the what? Than the old money. So is it CBN that print money? If it's CBN that print money, so that means everybody will have money. I ask a question. I ask you that question. Why can government print money and give everybody 1 million naira? So poverty will reduce in Nigeria. Why? Yes, that. But what do you say? Thank you. There will be too much of money in circulation, and if there's too much of money in circulation, what we call the inflation. Inflation. That's why. Do you get now? So here now, example of this one, we serve for the central government's currency. Currency. I'm supposed to show you money here. You can see now. You see CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria. Do you get now? Another example here is your class immigration. Immigration. I believe you know this one. One is moving out, one is coming out. One is moving and one is coming in. Either one is coming in, one is going out. It's immigration. This one is controlled by the government, by the federal government, not state. State has no power on this one. State has no power on this one. No state has power on this one. It's controlled by the central government. And as a question, let me ask you, my students, which one is common in Nigeria present? Is people going out, coming in? People are going out. Why? Your country. Then I also ask a question. Let me quickly throw this on the floor. Don't lie for me now. You are in essence, you are about to write your exam, and the exam, and your uncle in America now asks you, you stay in Nigeria permanent or you should be coming to America? You want to go to America? I want to leave Nigeria. Abi? Then if all of you leave Nigeria now, who will now be leader of tomorrow? But say you are leader of tomorrow now. Are you not leader of tomorrow? You are leader of tomorrow. So you can see now all this one, they are only reserved for the central government. We have many here. Can I still add more to that? We have what? Internal affairs. Internal affairs. There are many. Is there your constitution? We also have this one too. Defense. When I talk about defense, we have the police, we have the army, we have the navy, we have all those ones. They are there. So they are controlled by the federal government. It's the federal government that gives them money. I remember in 1999, they said that each state should have their police. They are still debating in the National Assembly. Each state should have their police. No, the police is controlled by who? By the federal government. Tell me this answer. If you don't know it, I want to stand up. For example, now, there's a conflict in Lagos State here now. After this one, Lagos State now. And the commissioner of police in Lagos State, your governor of Lagos State call you, oh yeah, go to that place now. Go and settle the conflict. And what? IG, Inspector General of Police, call him that he should return, he should come to Abuja now. Which one will you answer first? Yes. Lagos State governor call commissioner of police, oh yeah, go to that place. They are fighting now. And IG call him, oh yeah, come to Abuja in less than 2 minutes. You will answer who? Inspector General of Police. Why? Because this one, they are meant for who? For the central government, not states. State don't pay their salary. It's the federal government that pay their salary. So they have defense here, we have the army, we have this one. That's why I see what? Nigerian Police Force. So there are many under this one. This one, we also have this one to class censor. Censor is controlled by the what? By the federal government. It's only federal government that has the power to count. It's only the federal government that has the power to count people. I remember when we have censor in 2006, precisely, Lagos State counts also, the federal government count. At the end of the day, they have to give the population to Kano. But the Lagos State population is more than what? Kano. And when they go to court, call it what known as, but it's not the function of what? Of states to count. Lagos State is more congested than any other state. We all know that. Yes. I'm not talking of size of the population. I'm talking of the number of people that are there. But they always honor the northerners. Yes, those of you that are not listening to me, not that I'm trying to put something there. No, we know it very well. Yes, but they always give the north. And you know, the more your population, the more of your what? Your revenue you collect from the what? From the federal government. Let's move on because of our time. Number one is what class exclusive what list. What about number two? Have you put this one down? Can I clean it? Good. Number two, we have what? The concurrent Concurrent legislative list. I can't hear you. The concurrent legislative list. What did I say? Concurrent legislative list. Now, what is concurrent legislative list? This one simply means powers are shared. Powers are shared. Powers are shared. Powers are shared between the central and what? And the state government. Powers are shared between the central and state government. Two of them has power to do it. Powers are shared between the central and state government. Two of them has the power. But one thing is that what? There's always work class. There's always work class. Conflict between both sides. I will give an example. But before I give an example of this one, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Before I give an example, let's look at this now. Give me an example of concurrent list. Something over by the what? By the central FCT and something over by what? Now, I said what? On that concurrent legislative list, I said powers are divided, shared between the central and state governments. So both of them has power over this thing. So in the Nigerian constitution, the state has power over it, while the government, the federal government also has power over it. Example of this one, look at this. Example of this one is your class. Education. What I say? Education. What I say? Education. For example, now in Nigeria, we have federal university and we have state university. Can I give an example of federal university? Example of federal university in Nigeria is what class? Unilag. That's federal. While example of state university is what class? LASU. You can see now, each state can determine what they want in their university. For example, now Unilag say 200 and above, while LASU say 195. So you don't stop anybody. You never disturb it for anybody. So class, I believe you are with me here. So what I say what class? Example of this thing, we have what class? School. That's education. Apart from institution, we have Yabatech. Yabatech institution. Then we have what? LASUTech is state what? Apart from that, we have what? King and Queen College is federal. While we have other what class? State. Are you with me here? Listen to me here. Now class, another example here is what class is road. Road. Here is road. We have the federal road and we have the state road. We have the federal road and we have the state road. Example of federal is what class? Tell me. Example of federal is what? Yes. Third Mainland Bridge is federal road. Third Mainland Bridge is federal road. Then why state is what class? When we are going to all this place, is state road. We have the federal road and we have state road. So two of them has power over it. Anybody can control it. Either the federal government or what? Or the state government. Another example here, we have here class, we have laborers. We have laborers. We have laborers. That is, we have federal workers and we have what? We have federal workers and we have a state worker. We have the federal worker, we have the state worker. So federal government can determine how much they are going to give their what? Their workers. While the state can also determine how much they are going to give their what? State. There are many here. Another example here, we have what? Hospital. What do I say? Hospital. Federal hospital. For example now, LUTH is federal hospital. LUTH. If you go to ULAG now to go and study medicine, you are going to LUTH in your 200 level. When you go to LASU now to go and study medicine, you are not going to LUTH, you are going to Aike University. That's where you are going to. All the general hospital is Solo. All the general hospital is Gondo. They are states. They are states. So you can see now we have many here. Another one, we have one class, we have housing. Housing. We have the federal house and we have the state house. Let me give you an example of this one. Shagari Estate is federal. Gowon Estate is federal. Festac is federal. Then what about Jakonde Estate? Jakonde is owned by state government. That's what they call federalism. That's what they call what class? Concurrent legislative list. Am I talking? Are you getting it? That's what they call concurrent list. So the two of them have the power to share. And the problem we always have on concurrent is there's always conflict between the central government, federal, and the states. Why? Because they have different parties. Let me give you an example, and I believe this is not supposed to open up to you. I remember very well when our ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo was the president of Nigeria. He was from which party? People Democratic Party, PDP. Why governor of Lagos State? That's presently our president today now. Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu was Lagos State. Is the federal rather that has the power to create local governments. But when Tinubu was governor of Lagos State, he created one local government, which is not the function of what? Of the state. And what happened? That thing lead to conflict. That thing lead to disagreement. And because of that, Olusegun Obasanjo, Your Excellency Sir, Olusegun Obasanjo what? He seized the allocation of Lagos State for solid 4 years. Why? Because he has the state government to return it back. Then in Lagos State, we have how many local government? 20 local government. But President Ahmed Tinubu added more local government, and he said it's not the function. It's not the function of the state, and because of that, he sees the allocation. But now that's why he now see work class. Yet he now use wisdom. Instead of we call local government, call it work class, developmental work class. For example, now we have Ejigbo local government development. Ejigbo local government development. But they are still under what? Oshodi Solo. So there is always conflict. If another party now from PDP, while your federal government is ruling by work class APC, you see what is going on now? All the majority of the governors, they are decamping from PDP to work class APC. Otherwise, there will always be conflict. That's something we do now. Now look at now. He mentioned autonomy. That autonomy, the money of the local government to go direct to local government. But as some state opposite, no, the money to come to state, then from state they now disburse it to what local government. You can see there's always a conflict there. One of the problem, one of the criticism, one of the disadvantage of work class of what federalism is what there's always conflict between the central and what and the state. And if there's always conflict now, who always supersede the central government? Why? Who has the power under federalism? What I say, who has the power? That's the word. That's the Supreme Court. It is Supreme Court that has the final say. You can't compare that with unitary. What is unitary? Unitary means what? Concentration of power in a single authority. All the power is concentrated in a single authority. But here's a division of power. So if you are not what? You are not working together with the what? With the central government. Maybe you are PDP or you are Labour Party or you are other party, which I don't want to mention. You cannot work together. That's something you do in your state, and government will tell you that no, it's not what, it's not for you. It's federal level. Am I making point? Am I making point? Now the last one here is what class? We have the residual legislative list. Let's go. This one is not really common. Yeah, powers and function mentioned here. What I say? Powers listed here. Write it down. Power mentioned here. Write it down. Why are you looking at me? Power mentioned here. Power mentioned here are reserved for the what? For the what? For the states and local governments. Don't forget. State and local government. I want to say this, please. I beg you in the name of Allah and God. They don't share power with local government. Oh. They only share power between central and state. They only delegate power. They only delegate power to what? They only delegate power to local government. They don't share power. What I say, they don't share power. They delegate. That's why I say the central government that has the power to do what? That has the power to do what? That has the power to create local government. So they don't share power. So a good example of this one is what class we have here. We have what? A good example here we have what? Chieftaincies. Chieftaincies. Another example here we have what class? We have what? Maternity. Maternity. Another example here we have for class. We have for class. We have health center. Health center. Another example here we have for class. Primary health center. That's the same thing. This one. Another example here we have for class. Motor park. Motor park. There's something I mentioned last class. Local government don't share power. That's why I said they delegate power to them. And the power given to local government is called by what? By law. So these are the three ways our powers are shared. Student, what's number one? I've cleaned it. Yes. Thank you. Exclusive list. Only meant for who? The central government. Number two, concurrent list meant for who? Central and what? And state government. And number three is what class? Residual. Three of them. That's our powers are shared what in federalism. So you are expecting more questions. Yeah. 2019 question, 1994 question, number 5, 1919 question, 4 and 5 and 7. There are many questions here. Question, go and check your past question. So for my explanation, I believe you understand what they call federalism. What is federalism? Yes, just only one word. Thank you. Thank you. Division of power or sharing of power between what? Central and what? And state. What is the major features of federalism? Over what? Homogeneous. Let me give you. Look at me. Let me give you. Let me give you. Look at me. Let me give you. What are the features? What are the name for features? Thank you. You are now talking. Attributes. Features of federalism. One of them is what class? It's very simple. From my definition, you can get it. Yeah. Sharing of power between the central and what? and what? And state government. That's that. We also have another one here. It is what? It is what? Homogeneous. Homogeneous and decentralized. And decentralized in nature. That's that. And also I mentioned this of class. The Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is what? Is the apex, is the highest. The Supreme Court is the what? Is the apex. Is the apex. Is the final say. He has the final say. And not only that, I said what class? In a what? In a federal state, please, is there your past question? The country that practice federalism always practice what? Written and what? And rigid constitution. Any country that practice federalism, there must always be what? Written and rigid constitution. And we are still going to look at this one. Don't worry. Somebody is asking what is rigid. That is not easily to amend. A constitution that is not easy to amend. What about written? It's written in one document. Nigeria is practicing it. 1999 constitution is what class? Written and rigid constitution. And any country that practice that also must also practice what they call what class? Bicameralism. Must also practice what they call what class? Bicameralism. That's bicameralism. What is bicameralism? Division of power between the central and what? Bicameralism is what? When what? Two houses or chamber that make law. That's what they call federalism. Two houses that make law is called what? Federalism. Am I talking? Are you getting it now? So there are many fictions. JAMB don't always ask this one. Fictions. They will not ask you that. It's not why they ask what are the fictions of this one. But the major thing I want to know there is what class. It is what? Homogeneous in nature. Now look at the last thing there. Look at the last thing here. That is very, very important. Very, very important. Please look at this one now. Who give us the definition? Who popularize it? We have different popularization. No? Who popularize it? That's Casey what? Casey where? Casey where? Please don't forget. Kingsley Christian where? That's the meaning. From which country? USA. Is the one that is well accepted. Most theorists of federalism. 2005 question, they asked that question. The most theorists of federalism were class Casey where? There are other people. We have the IZ. We have many people that give us definition. But his own is very what? He said what? Any country that practice what? That practice federalism, there must be multi-party system. He mentioned a lot of there must be bicameralism. There must be what class? There must be written and rigid constitution. That's why it was accepted. I will stop here today and I will continue from there next class. But let me ask you, what are the reasons why country adopted or practice federalism? I tell you that one of the reasons why they practice federalism is what class? Size of the what? Of the country. Please, one of the reasons what class? If your country is very big, homogeneous. Sorry for this one. This one is heterogeneous. So if your country is very big, Nigeria is very big. That's why we practice what class? We practice what? Federalism. You get now? And different cultures. Different cultures and language. For example, in Nigeria now, we have how many cultures? We have more than 52 cultures in Nigeria. Students, I believe you understand.